So it's something like they're the best worst friends. Best worst friends. Best worst friends. With Doug and Tim. Guys!
What?
Welcome back to another episode of Best Worst Friends, episode 139, I'm pretty sure. I'm Doug Koning, that's Tim Nicholson.
So, Doug, I have a question for you. Do you believe in ghosts?
Do I believe in ghosts? Not particularly. I've had some creepy experiences in my life. Mostly before I was cognizant, but I don't myself believe in ghosts.
Wait,
I think they're kind of silly.
Before you were cognizant?
I remember when I was a little kid, my mom always tells me the story where I was at my Uncle Ron and Aunt Mary's, and I saw a picture of my Uncle Doug, who I'm named after, who passed away before I was born, and I'm 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And apparently I pointed at the picture, and I was like, that's the Dark Defender of the Night. I talk to him all the time. And it scared the shit out of my aunt, and she called my mom, hysterical, what the fuck? Who's the Dark Defender of the Night? What the hell is that? My mom's like, I don't know. And then my mom finally learned what the name Doug means, and it's of the dark, and then his middle name meant the night or something like that.
Okay.
So that was a creepy experience, but I don't know if that's a ghost or I probably just heard that shit, some adults saying it.
Maybe you were a small
little
psychic
parrot.
child.
Maybe I just gave up on the gift. Who knows?
Yeah.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Somebody. No, but a surprising amount of people believe in ghosts. A shocking amount of people have had paranormal experiences. And the shitty thing is that because I don't believe in ghosts, I assume those people are nuts.
Do you think that people who believe in ghosts and people who believe in the Holy Ghost are very similar? Do you think they're similar schools?
If you believe in the Holy Ghost but not regular ghosts, I don't know what you're doing with yourself. You gotta believe in all ghosts or none ghosts.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you don't get to pick and choose. No, those ghosts are dumb.
Yeah.
I get to have my Victorian ghost over here with the big poofy dress, but you can't have your sky ghost.
There have to be people who believe that Jesus was just a ghost, right? When he arose on the third day, they're like, nah, he was a ghost. That's just normal ghost
really
shit,
tired.
dude. That's not special. He doesn't get to be special. There's a guy who lives outside my parents' house who's just like that. But so you don't remember having any paranormal experiences when you were a kid?
I'm trying to think. Now, I feel like I heard a lot of paranormal experiences, and I've always liked listening to that kind of stuff, but I've never actually had any myself.
Me neither. Maybe that's the problem. I never met a ghost. There's no one who believes in ghosts and hasn't met them.
That's true. The two kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
It's one of those things if you want to see it, you'll see. It's one of those you see an old picture and there's a little lens flare or a solar flare or something, and they're oh, that's a ghost. No, it's the camera sucks. So many times ghosts are excuses for faulty equipment.
Yeah.
A theater having a bad sound system, and they're oh, it's the ghost of Boo Radley from this old production of so-and-so. And you're no, you just haven't bought a new speaker in 40 fucking years. Your microphone sucks.
This whole thing's falling apart. You have old pipes that suck, and so every once in a while it goes...
Yeah, it's the lead making that noise.
Everybody.
It's the fucking asbestos settling into the fucking core of this building.
Fridge. I'm kind of jealous of people who believe in ghosts. It would be nice to sort of believe in something extraterrestrially.
Honestly, Tim, you can leave it at it would be nice to believe in something. I would love to. If there was a switch in my brain, if I could install one switch in my brain and I could just flip on religion, the switch that could buy into all that, all the story of it.
Yeah.
I'd be so happy. I think I'd be much better off because there's a sense of community. People are getting together for a higher purpose. They help the community. Almost everything about religion I think is great, except for then they bring up God, and I'm I can't do this. I can't do that part. But if I had that switch, I think I'd be a much happier person.
If there was just a place where me and, similar people, I guess, could come together and then we rotate who has to bring sandwiches and we just hang out. I think that would be nice. I think I would enjoy an event like that.
Yeah.
Just eating little triangle sandwiches in a lemon bar.
You know what I need? I just need to join a book club, because all church is just a book club about one book that I just don't care about very much. But if I was in a book club, we get together, have a couple drinks, chat about the thing we read.
And then every week you have a different book that you really don't care that much about. You could honestly, I feel like you could be in a true crime book club and you'd probably get some people out. If you wanted to start one of those in Hamilton, you and some like-minded weirdos could get together and discuss your favorite murderers.
It's actually an interesting concept. It'd be kind of cool.
Go make a friend, dude.
Yeah, I need friends. How do you? It's awkward to make friends in your 30s.
Dude, it's
I don't know how to do it. I think I'm almost. I think my brain's capped out at how many people I can know or fathom or talk to. Like, I don't know, people who have great memories for everyone they've ever met. I have no idea how they do that, because I meet people and they're like, we've met like 5 times, and I'm like, you got to step your game up, because I'm just not remembering you.
You're not memorable to me at all. I just if I meet someone and they know my name and I don't know their name, I hope I never see them again as long as I live.
Yeah, it's really awkward. It's always awkward. It's always awful.
I would love it if the next thing that happened was they got hit by a train and I'd have to be like, oh, no, it was, what's his name? Train got what's his name?
Oh, my God. How awful would that be, though? Imagine you're talking to someone at a party for 10 minutes. You didn't know that you couldn't remember their name. They left. They get murdered. They come to the party and they're like asking you questions and you can't even say the fucking person's name.
Yeah.
Well, number one, you're the number one suspect now. You're like, all right, he's playing some crazy game where he doesn't even know the name of the fucking guy. Like, that's insane.
He had like blue, green, brown eyes somewhere in there.
Dude, I remember there was when I was training at Tim Hortons. When I was training at Tim Hortons, they had CDs that had all the training videos on them.
Yeah.
And one of the CDs was about like loss prevention and like someone coming in and committing a crime. And it's like a robber comes in and they rob you real quick and then they leave and you have to answer all these questions like what color eyes did they have, what color hair, jacket, all this shit. I failed this video like 3 or 4 times and I had no idea.
And it's the
same
no
idea
guy
what I was doing
every
wrong.
time.
Yeah, to the point where I got the manager to come with me and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't get it. And she's watching the video with me and I think I just barely passed with her and she's like, I don't know.
I don't know. You were just really bad at identifying people.
Oh, man. I fucked up really bad when I started at Walmart the second time once it became a superstore, because we had a thing where we had to like name 110 fruits and vegetables. Because I was a cashier, like one of the training things, they would just like show you a picture, and I'm like, never fucking seen that in my whole life. I've never seen whatever that is ever.
And they're like,
it's like okra. I'm like, when would I have seen okra?
Yeah, when I grew up in the South, what do I need okra for? All that loss prevention stuff is so funny to me, because it's like, I'm not doing shit for this. Absolutely
for
not.
This company?
I'm not stopping anyone. I'm not even going to remember anything out of like spite.
Yeah.
I'm going to actively forget everything I learned.
I'm probably going home.
When you worked at Walmart, did anyone actually stop a thief? Like one of the greeters who'd been in Vietnam just tackled a guy?
I remember one time I like even heard that this guy tried to steal 2 vacuum cleaners and our loss prevention nabbed him. And the loss prevention's office was in the back hallway. Yeah. And I was walking down the hallway right after someone had told me that. And I was singing the Bad Boys theme to myself. And I get to the point, I'm like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? And I walk by the door and it's open and it's just our loss prevention lady sitting with the fucking guy who stole the things. And I'm like, oh, sorry, guys. And kept going.
Nah, I bet you loved it.
Yeah, the loss prevention lady probably did, but not the thief who just knows that, like, Okay, so now there's like 70 people openly mocking me all around this store. I'm surrounded by people who think I'm a fucking moron loser.
This fucking giant baby singing songs at me. My life's falling apart. I don't need that.
Yeah, that was his rock bottom for sure.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. He probably just assumed you were mentally disabled.
I mean, I worked at Walmart, so
And you were in a Walmart uniform singing. Those are pretty good indicators that not all the synapses are firing up there.
yeah.
Did you hear about the problem that North Korea had last week?
No.
North Korea, they sent a bunch of soldiers to Russia to help out Russia fighting Ukraine. And when the soldiers got there, it was their first time being exposed to a free internet. And then they all just immediately got addicted to pornography.
Oh,
And they
100%.
lost entire units to Pornhub. Which is awesome.
Yeah. Do you think do they just not have porn at all in North Korea, or is there like government sanctioned porn?
No, there's no like special like Kim Jong-un porn that they have to watch.
Well, I know they have like their own cell phones and shit. Like I thought maybe they had their own porn industry.
No.
It's just like two people. It's just two people they watch fuck. You like elect these two people to fuck. That'd be sick. What if every country just elected the two hottest people and then they fucked and that's the porn we all watched and then we could all talk about it. And then sexuality becomes this like more open discussion that we're all talking about.
Yeah, it's like
all
an
time.
American
It's like the TV
Idol
show
style competition where there's like local competitions, like a local voting, and then those people go to a more regional thing, provincial, national.
Yeah.
And it's not something you sign up for. It's just someone nominates you and you get selected.
Yeah.
And then we have
it's like
to
if you're nominated a certain amount of times anonymously with people with no connections. It's like 3 nominations from 3 different friend groups. We got to get this motherfucker in here.
Yeah.
Also, he has 3 friend groups? This guy's the hottest man ever.
I appreciate that you immediately went to the man. That's nice.
Yeah, I just wanted to not be sexist.
I volunteer.
I don't know.
I volunteer as tribute. But no, they just have none. It's like morally wrong.
Damn.
So the government, they have very strict rules on what can be on their shitty North Korean internet, like like movies and porn and music and all that shit.
I want to know what fetishes they got to the quickest. Being introduced to all porn at once. Every porn everywhere all at once. Which one did they gravitate towards?
That's a great question. I assume they started with big boobs. That just feels right to me. It's a very
I think
pubescent choice.
That makes sense because you'd start with boobs or just boob, and then you'd see like a big pair of boobs, and you'd be like, maybe there's more. And then you'd search big boobs. You start throwing adjectives in front of the body parts.
Yeah, they got like 87 tabs open. They're just putting candy in the cart. They're not eating any of it. You know, they're too excited by the choices.
Yeah, because they pick one video and then just like the 6 thumbnails at the side, they like see something else, and
yeah,
it's a rabbit hole. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
And then all of a sudden, you miss the war because you made it down to fisting. And then all of a sudden the bomb dropped. Maybe
they needed those young men to be full of cum, so they're full of rage. You know what I mean? If you have no outlet for that, then you would just be like just all this pent up emotion. But imagine how lethargic you'd be after masturbating about 40,000 times in like a 2-week period for the first time in your life.
Do you want to go it's time to go fight the enemy? No, I'm pretty sleepy. I might have a nap.
Also, it's got to be really hard to look at the idea of like Kim Jong-un or whatever the fuck one is in power after you have like that clear mind of having just jerked off and be like, yeah, I'll listen to that fucking fat fuck. Like, why am I listening to that guy? That's ridiculous.
Plato's allegory of the porn. You know, I've been outside of the cave. I've seen what the world is like. I can't go back.
Yeah.
To my
I
pointless
go back to that fucking
existence.
fat shadow.
Yeah, I have to
living that life.
go back to masturbating to posters of Kim Il-sung. I don't want to do that.
I don't even know who that is.
Hey, it's a pretty big deal over there. That was when...
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that was one of the posters. I might be wrong. Remember when that guy tried to steal a poster from North Korea? Who was like a visitor from like Ohio or some shit, and he tried to steal a poster from North Korea because they were there visiting, and they caught him, and so they put him in a work camp, and they kept him there for like months. And when they sent him back, he was brain dead.
Oh God!
Don't fuck with North Korea, dude. Especially in North Korea.
Yeah, you know what? Kim Jong, you have some good ideas. I honestly don't think porn's good. I don't think porn's good, so I'm on your side.
Yeah.
I'm on your side.
Honestly, they love basketball. Big fans of the Lakers over there.
Yeah.
Seems like a fun hang.
Tim, are you a Redditor at all? Do you go on Reddit?
No, I've been perusing it more lately, just looking at guitar pedal stuff, but I haven't really gotten deep down there yet.
Great for niche nerd shit. Yeah, I've been like off and on for years, but I'm getting back more into it now, and I made some post in like the TV writing group looking for like Ask Me Anythings that writers have maybe done that I can't find through Google searches, but then I started getting
online, dude. It's fucking crazy. You just go into these
it works.
groups with the best of intentions,
Truly works.
asking sincere questions. It's amazing.
I got a lot of great responses, but then people started asking me questions as if I was a successful TV writer. They're like, what shows have you written on that we would know? And I was like, none shows. I'm like, I'm not going to give you any advice because like I'm an amateur, but like maybe attention to detail is important. I don't know.
Did they think
like,
that
read
you
the
were
thing.
like, I'm about to do an Ask Me Anything and I want some advice on good? That
but
people are so desperate for any sort of secret leg up on shit like
100%.
that.
And this one person like comments and then private messages me at like 3 a.m. Like I see this message the next day, but it's like 3 a.m. Fuck, I should look it up, but now my phone's too far away.
Did they ask you to send them butthole?
But it's like no. It's like, I've never seen someone with like my same interests, like TV writing and comedy and blah, 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 all this stuff. And then it's like, I have an antique book collection. My grandfather had to build me these shelves to support them. They're blah, blah, blah. And I want to write for SNL one day. And then I go to their profile just to see like where they're commenting or where they're posting the most. Their most recent comment was in r/meth. And I'm like, I don't know if we're going to be friends, man. I don't know if I'm replying to this message or not. Because now everything makes sense. It's 3 a.m. You're fucking amped.
Yeah. About his antique books. Which, by the way,
man.
if anyone's looking to buy some antique books for a very reasonable price, I recommend checking out that guy in about a month and a half. You need to start moving some bookshelves pretty soon. Do you remember what he said in r/meth?
I think it was either asking a question about using a particular device to smoke meth out of, or if it was safe or not. I think they asked like if something was safe or not, and it's like the people are like, well, it's meth, so got to take that with a grain of salt. Put a grain of salt with your grain of meth, and that's good to cut it down a little bit.
Are there any, just first time trier, are there any downsides to meth? Any you can?
You got a lot of cleaning to do.
Yeah.
Have you ever wondered what the inside of a toaster looked like?
Yeah. Have you been struggling with puzzles? But I don't remember if we talked about this on the pod or just in life. But weren't you prescribed some sort of meth? What was
prescribed some sort of meth?
Prescribed some sort of heroin? I forget.
Some sort of heroin. Yeah,
okay,
the morphine. Yeah. I mean, I've had stuff that's like essentially like synthetic baby meth before, because like some pre-workout converge on the same chemical construction as methamphetamine, which is not great.
Genuinely think that most medicine is either some form of heroin or some form of meth.
Yeah, they work.
Yeah.
That's why people dilute them to the amount where they abuse them and it ruins their lives, because it works really well, I bet.
Oh, yeah. And that was all medicine for like a long time before we discovered penicillin or whatever. It's just like, hey, take some meth.
Do you think is anyone a meth and heroin addict? Like I'm meth in the morning and then I'm heroin at night. Can't sleep a wink without my heroin, and I can't get anything done without my meth.
Definitely. They're on the exact same schedule you have with energy drinks and weed.
Yeah.
Except it's meth and heroin. Because they're not fucking pussies.
You're right. I should do heroin and meth.
You couldn't afford heroin or meth.
Yeah, that's
Let's
true.
be honest.
Yeah, I'm getting priced out all my dreams.
Yeah. You have to start just selling your girlfriend's Furby collection to pay for meth. That's a low point.
Shelf's getting thinner as I'm getting thinner, too. She's like, what the hell's going on here?
You're like, I'm sorry, I've started taking care of myself. No, I'm okay for lunch, actually. I'm going to stick to meth. Do you think you'd be more of a meth guy or a heroin guy?
Probably heroin.
You think so?
I think heroin, yeah, just like I've heard it described as like having 1,000 dicks all over your body that are coming at the same time, and I'm like, yeah, I have one dick coming at the same time, and it's pretty great. So I can't imagine 1,000 dicks.
I hate that we have so few metaphors for things that feel good.
I haven't done that much other than jerk off. If I'm like really looking at my life, I haven't done that many things that are exhilarating.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I watched my daughter in her first dance recital the other day. It was like I had 25 dicks on my body, and they were all coming at the same time. It was like my
specific
heart
amounts
had
of dicks.
My heart had 5 dicks, and they were all coming at the same time.
It's like a baker's dozen of cocks was hanging off of my heart, simultaneously ejaculating.
Jizzing away. Heroin must also feel like a lot of dicks coming, right?
Yeah,
no,
that's
meth,
that's what I was saying.
No, meth must feel like a lot of dicks coming.
I don't know.
There's no way
I
it
honestly
sucks.
don't know what meth feels like. I think you're just like really fucking locked in, you know? It's like Adderall, but like amped up. It's like overdosing on something like Adderall. That's what I would assume it would be like.
What
without knowing
does
anything about it, really.
meth feel like? Question mark.
Let us learn together.
All these websites just tell me not to do meth. None of them are.
It's because it feels good. People don't have to tell you to not do things that feel bad because they feel bad. You don't want to do them.
It's fun at first. The ritual before the speed is great. The high is amazing. You literally feel like you're invincible and can conquer the world. You lose weight. You look sexy. You're extremely productive. But you're flat broke, and then the come down is absolute hell. So, yeah. So apparently,
most of that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That post was about 8 paragraphs long, and I only read the first one. So I assume the narrative gets
darker,
worse.
It's bleaker. Yeah.
Yeah, but the first one, when you first start meth, seems pretty awesome.
You're losing weight. You're getting stuff done.
Yeah. You're just living a hell of a life.
I think I'm just going to start telling, if people are like, what's your secret? Just be like, meth. It's meth. That's what you should tell people. Well, I've been smoking meth. I'm starting to take care of myself. I'm smoking meth.
That was what they used to give women to lose weight.
Yeah, they used to do a lot of bad things.
The only thing I know about, like, early medicine for women was if they were, like, stressed and miserable, you would go to the doctor and he'd finger you. And if you wanted to lose weight, they'd give you meth. Those are the two. Yeah, did you not know that, Doug?
No.
If women were unhappy, that's why the vibrator was created. It was a medical tool because doctors' arms were getting tired. From
doctor's looking at his Friday, and it's just like 12 finger blasts in a row. He's like, Jesus, fuck, we gotta spread this out through the week.
Yeah.
He's like warming up like a pitcher.
Getting fucking carpal tunnel. Got Tommy John surgery from all these unhappy housewives who need Dr. Feelgood to make them come.
He's got like a fucking physiotherapist warming him up at the start of his day in the office.
Comes home to his angry wife. Like, I've been having a really long day, okay? I can't deal with that and deal with you. Yeah, so they invented the vibrator. So you'd go in and doctors would just vibrate people. I think this is true. I've never actually... This is the kind of thing that I've never read anywhere. I've
just
only
like start like... The lady's like, can I like take this home and do this by myself? Doc's like, no, I'm a doctor. I have to be here to supervise.
Look at this jacket. This jacket means I get the vibrator.
If I have a stethoscope, that means I get to watch you come.
Yeah. You can use it on yourself while I'm behind this sheet. That's the best deal you're going to get. Okay?
He just listens to his own heartbeat as he's watching her fucking masturbate.
Sick. Yeah, that's the only way he can come is if he stethoscopes her heart while she masturbates. That's what I like.
Did you ever watch that one episode of Black Mirror with the doctor who puts on that machine that lets him feel what the patients are feeling so he can properly diagnose what's going on?
Oh, yeah, and then he gets like addicted to it and he starts killing people? Is that right?
Yeah, because he's like connected to someone when they die and it's like this crazy fucking rush of endorphins.
Right.
And then he like starts doing that on purpose.
Man, Black Mirror ruled for a little while.
Fuck, man. When it was in the pocket, couldn't miss.
Yeah.
Maybe I had like two episodes a season max that flopped, but there's a couple seasons that were like 3 episodes that were all great.
Yeah, and they were like historically great, like culturally permeating great. You had to watch it or you had nothing to talk about with anybody.
What has been the show since that? Or do you think there has been one that's been like so everyone talks about it?
I don't know.
So it's just like so different.
Like Tiger
just gotta
King,
really push
maybe,
it out there.
or like the Pandemic had a few. They weren't good shows, but they were somewhat interesting.
Hey man, I'm glad you finally watched Reservation Dogs.
Yeah, I watched the first episode.
I love that show.
It's a great show.
So good. The second episode's great. Bobby Lee's in it.
Hey, is he pretending to be Native American?
No, he's like a doctor who works at the Indian hospital.
If he came out in a headdress, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on this show?
No, but he has a lot of great stuff. Actually, there's a lot of fun guest stars in that show. And I realized that there's one guy in the pilot of that episode, Kirk Fox, who I saw live. He opened for Tom Segura.
Oh, that's cool.
When I saw him down in Florida. Yeah.
Kirk Fox is a funny dude.
Yeah. Also, I don't want to spoil when he pops up, but Bill Burr's also in the show. Only for an episode, but...
Does he play Native American?
No. But when he popped up, I was like, oh, shit! Because I was not expecting...
I felt
Bill
when he
Burr
showed
to
up
be in
on
it.
Breaking Bad. I was like, what the fuck is Bill Burr doing here?
What a cool career.
Very cool career. I had a big week this week.
Yeah, what'd you do?
Robbie and I went and saw this band Chat Pile.
Okay.
It's great. They're like, Robbie said they were like a sludge band, like sludge.
What does that
punk
mean?
Or something. I don't know, but they rule. They have a song about a guy, they have a song called Grimace Smoking Weed, which is about a guy who's about to kill himself, and he sees Grimace in the corner smoking weed and staring at him while he's doing it. And then they have a song called Rainbow
cool.
Meat that they close with. I didn't think they were going to play it, but the lyrics are something like, when I die, I think it's send my body to Arby's. Human flesh slider combo. Send my body to Arby's. Just fucking ruled. There's these fucking heavy-set, middle-aged white dudes just like, send my body to Arby's. And then in between
Where'd
every
they play?
song, they played, It's like Bloor and Young. It's a good venue.
Okay.
They, in the between songs, they would just talk about every movie they thought of, like they could think of that was Canadian or in Toronto. Like, are you guys fans of New York Minute? Toronto classic. New York Minute. It's supposed to be in New York. You can see the CN Tower like 3 times. And it's just like, boom, 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 into whatever their songs are.
That's fun.
It was fucking, it ruled. Like, punk bands are so, like, aggressive and angry and upsetting, but silly.
Yeah. The silliness is key.
Yeah, like their music videos are them getting killed with, like, fake weapons and having dumb fake blood that they filmed for, like, $28.
I love that.
Yeah. And then they have songs where it's a guy screaming, "They made tapes," over and over again. You're like, well, that's pretty upsetting. But before that, I went to trivia. Robbie's like, "You got to come do trivia with us." So I went to a bar and did trivia. It smelled like poop there. It was very smelly.
What kind of trivia?
It was just
What
general
kind of
trivia. And I don't know. Are you a big trivia guy?
I do like trivia. I have not been in a long time, but I like flexing that muscle. I love guessing on Jeopardy, and then when I get it right, looking really full of myself, and when I get it wrong, just being like, well, I don't know. And not holding that against myself.
I'm a big fan. There are 2 things. Nothing feels better than knowing the answer.
Oh, yeah.
You're the fucking man.
Yeah.
Second best feeling when no one knows the answer and you get to put in a joke answer and no one will be mad. It's also super
Or if
fun.
you guess and it's right, and you get to act like you knew and it wasn't a guess.
Yeah.
If they give you options. That's always great.
Turns out I'm mostly a fucking moron. I didn't know shit. Every single answer, I had nothing to contribute. But then...
Do you remember any of the questions?
Name the 2... What European cities have, like, 2 airports in the top 10 busiest airports?
Okay.
It was like London,
like London
and Paris,
and Amsterdam.
Like,
that makes sense.
I guessed London and Amsterdam, and I was fucking wrong. And they listened to me, and everyone was mad. But there was one, and then it got to a category. They're like, the winner of this next category gets a free pitcher of beer. And then the category
and something
was,
unlocks in you.
Yeah, it's like game time. I snort some meth. I get fucking ready. And then the category was listen to these lines from movies and guess the movie. And when I tell you that I went 10 out of 10, just absolutely crushed it.
Fuck
like
yeah, dude.
That movie Legend where Tom Hardy acts opposite himself. Fucking Manchester by the Sea. Just all these white guy movies that I'm they threw in Brothers, that Tobey Maguire movie.
Oh, it's a fun one.
It was weird to sit in a bar and they're playing that quote where he's smashing the kitchen. He's like, "Do you know what I did with these hands?" You're like, I know that
It's a great monologue.
One's brother. It's okay. It's a little over the top.
That's why it's fun.
Is Tobey Maguire a good actor?
I liked him in... There's a couple things I liked him in. Obviously, I love him in the first couple Spider-Mans. Cider House Rules, I remember being good. Seabiscuit's good. What else has he fucking been in? Brothers? I don't know what else.
He was just
I think
friends
that's
with
about it.
Leonardo DiCaprio, and they were in the Pussy Posse together. So he gets to be famous.
That's pretty tight life.
I'm just going to be chasing that high of winning people a pitcher of beer with movie knowledge. I'm going to be chasing that for the rest of my life.
But this is what you need in trivia, is like a specialized person. This is what life is. That's what a PhD is. It's a specialization, like a niche that, yeah, you get it. But that's what trivia is. Do you remember the show Beat the Geeks?
Oh, fuck. I kind of
Dude,
do.
I loved that show where there'd be like a music
like
geek and a movie geek.
Dorks.
Yeah. They're like color-coded fat people, and they would have like a special bonus one on where it'd be like the Beatles geek or something, and you had to challenge a geek. And then your prize was based, basically. Your prize was based on who you picked. So if you picked like the movie geek and you won, you got to be like murdered in a B movie, and you got to like be on set for shit, and like you won like specific prizes to like that niche interest. It was a fucking awesome show.
I do remember
awesome show.
That was a great fucking show. They don't have stuff like
back.
that anymore. Now it's all just wannabe influencers falling in
there's
quote-unquote love.
There's nothing where you're using a brain nowadays.
Who has a brain anymore?
But like, unless you're using a brain to make the most beautiful piece of art that you're then distilling down into a 15-second video for fucking TikTok or a minute-long video for Instagram or whatever, like those are the people with brains. But the rest of us, no brains.
How you doing, man?
No brains anymore.
You doing good?
I don't know, man.
You doing okay?
I think I'm all right. I think I'm all right.
That sounded pretty real. Sounded pretty real.
Thank you.
I met with a dietitian this morning.
Nice.
I have some insurance money to spend, my job. And
Fuck yeah.
so I met with a lady. She's going to make me a meal plan. And she asked me what like my eating habits were currently. And then I lied to her for 45 minutes.
You got to start being honest to someone that you hire to help you. You're not honest with therapists. You're not honest with dietitians. Because they're there to help, Tim.
If I'm like, yeah, I eat a shit ton of candy, she's not going to be like, all right, so you can still eat a shit ton of candy. It's not going to happen. She's going to give me the same meal plan regardless. Why is she fucking asking me?
Here's the thing. Maybe she knows some fucking tip where she's like, okay, so I know you're like a sugar fiend, so we're going to give you this, which is like a great supplement to that, but it'll give your brain like the same hit that does.
That doesn't exist. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure you're getting a lot of fruit, a lot of natural sugars. I'm like, fuck you. Natural fruit has nothing on Sour Patch Kids. Absolutely nothing.
No, it's true. I haven't been eating any candy since my teeth have been fucked. Because I think candy is what sets it off even more so, which is what a hell to be in. Though I'll occasionally get a slushie because then it's like liquid candy. I can just bypass all the teeth, you know?
Yeah. But I could tell she didn't believe me.
She's like, oh, you've been eating kale salad every breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 10 years?
Yeah,
sure.
You black bean and quinoa your way to 220 pounds. That's what you've been doing?
That's a lot of beans.
It's quite
a lot of beans.
It's a lot of spinach smoothies you've been having to get those tits. Who cares? I don't need.
Yeah.
She didn't need the truth. I just need the solution. You know.
They probably have to know that they're not going to get a lot of honest feedback.
Yeah.
Unless the person's dumb. That's the only people who's really honest these days is dumb people.
She showed me the plate where it's all right. So it's supposed to be 50% vegetables, and then 1/4 protein, and then 1/4 grain. And I'm sitting there like, where did donuts go? Which of those is donuts?
How many plates do I get to stack on top of each other?
Yeah.
Is there 5 plates? Is there a chip plate?
How much of that is cheese? Can cheese go over the whole plate? Is that like a next layer? Is that free?
Dude, I remember my cousin Tommy. He's fucking great, man. He's like this 40-something, maybe might be in his 50s now, I don't know. But like autistic dude. And he was like saying one year that he was like on a diet at our Christmas, and he's like, I'm only having 1 plate of food, and he turns around from the table and this plate was like comically large plate of how the fuck he ever put stuff on there. But I'm like, that's like 10 pounds of food on there.
Yeah, but that's a man who used his brain to destroy his body. You know, that was structural engineering. It's like weight balancing shit. That's so funny to me. I've done it too. My brain is blocked out when I did it, but those things you do where it's like, no, I'm just having one. And then you look at the one and it's fucking massive.
Oh, dude, one tablespoon of peanut butter used to be whatever I could get on to 1 tablespoon. That's the rule. It says 1 tablespoon on the fucking package.
Yeah, so now
it's a challenge.
I just got really good at balancing peanut butter. Sorry to just do your bit at your face. Probably could have let you just do it. A little more convincing. Your delivery and whatnot. But yeah,
I don't have that anymore.
You know, secretly getting jacked. Well on the way. All right? And
fuck yeah, dude.
I'm going to die, I think. I don't think it's going to go good. But that's fine.
Is this week 2 of the 15-week program you were talking about beforehand?
This is week 3.
Week 3, nice.
Getting up at 6 a.m.
Are there
4
like
days a
different?
week.
That's, you know what? With where I live now and like going to Amazing Fitness again once I don't feel like shit, that's what I want to get into, is going to the gym before work and then going from work or going from the gym to work. Because who cares if I'm fucking smelly at work? I work alone and I see people
In
for
a
like
weed store.
a minute and a half maximum, and they're like 3 feet away from me.
Someone comes in and they're like, "Oh, it smells like shit in here." It's like, yeah, because this weed is great. This is the dopest
This is
weed.
fucking dank shit. I didn't forget to flush the toilet because you came in here while I was pooping. It's for sure the weed.
I didn't sprint out of here with a shit half out my ass.
Yeah.
That's
It's this
absolutely
fucking
not true.
fart kush.
Yeah,
Take a
it's
sniff.
good because I like I text my buddy when I go to the gym, and then he texts me when he goes because I got him on the
Nice.
same dumb plan I'm doing.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm so
you
mad.
need accountability.
This is Andrew, and the last time I saw him, he had like a
Dude, Andrew, I have a great diet plan for you, Andrew. If you shaved off all your body hair, you'd lose like 15 pounds. I'm just kidding. That's mean. I was just
If you
I don't
could-
know if he listens to this.
He doesn't. Ideally, if you could donate some of your body hair to Doug, it would make him look like an adult.
That'd be great. I'm very hairless.
Completely hairless. It's just
Yeah.
under the fat, like cheese on a plate of broccoli.
My beard doesn't even connect to my mustache, really. And I
whatever,
accidentally
I'm
shaved away the connection.
video only. This is the bad facial hair podcast. Both of our shit sucks, but it's so necessary because neither of us have chins.
Dude, on video it looks even worse. What are these two things that like come out of my nose hair-wise that are like darker than the other parts?
You have a really good Hitler mustache and then a shitty rest of the mustache.
Do you think if I kept the beard I could get away with the Hitler mustache?
No.
No. I'm going to take that silence as no.
No.
Okay.
I love
I'm going to
that.
take you saying no as no.
I love that Hitler did that because he was a big Charlie Chaplin fan. And so that's actually the Charlie Chaplin mustache. But
Damn.
Hitler
And he ruined it.
he was so famous that he just owns the mustache now.
Damn. I wonder what someone could do with like an iconic look nowadays that would ruin it. I don't know what an iconic. We need like a broccoli hair monster so that we have to stop seeing that haircut everywhere.
Yeah, nice little, I don't know, man buns are passe. And then Charlie Chaplin, he made a movie called The Great Dictator where he parodied Hitler. Which
Was
I
that
like to
while
think-
Hitler was still alive?
Maybe. I like to think somewhere.
I feel like it was
looking-
1940.
Looking down at us from heaven, it hurt Hitler's feelings. Great dictator. It was 1940. So that was Hitler was still alive.
See, I love trivia. I don't know why I know that. I haven't
Very
seen
impressed. Dude, I'd be so mad because, like, if Hitler confessed his sins, oh no, because he killed himself. All right, you can't get into heaven. He's not up there. But if he confessed his sins
okay.
and then repented to God and then got shot, he'd be up there right now, fucking Jimi Hendrix.
But would there be a loophole around the rule where if him and Eva confessed their sins to each other and then shot each other? Ava? Sorry, I'm so sorry to Hitler's mistress. Or
no, because then your last
whatever.
thing is what he would have to do is like confess all their sins.
I guess because you're murdering. That's
and
a
then
bad
act
sin.
like you're going to shoot her and then let her murder you and you're clean. You're in purgatory for a little bit for a lie, but whatever.
Yeah, and the whole killing 6 million Jewish
Jews.
people
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you could
Hopefully a bit of time in
Also-
purgatory
also
for
that.
that.
probably
Yeah.
a little.
You'd hope.
Yeah. What were we talking about before Hitler? Oh, yeah. Fucking Andrew was a pretty heavy dude. And then I proposed this, like, gym thing. And I was like, we're going to get into shape. We're going to do it. And then we started. And then he's like, oh, yeah, since I started, like, cooking at home instead of going out, and I've lost about 35 pounds.
Holy shit.
And I'm like, good for you, but
Good for
fuck
him.
you. I thought we were doing this together. Now you're just like a fit guy getting fitter. So fun for me.
It's honestly a lot of times for a lot of people, it's one small change, radical difference. Especially if you're like a bigger person. Or, yeah, dude. Or when my mom was diagnosed diabetic and she switched from Pepsi to Diet Pepsi, she just lost like 40 pounds. It just like 40 pounds just like disappeared. Like, okay, so that was your soda weight. That was the soda weight on your body for sure.
Just had a little extra soda weight you had to get rid of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's carrying around 40 liters of soda pop on your body.
What do you think? Do you think there's anything where you have one change, if you cut it out, you just shed it?
Yeah, if I just ate exclusively at home.
Yeah?
100%.
Honestly,
100%.
That's a good one.
Yeah. If you never like ate out anywhere, like a prepared meal from any other place where you're paying money for it, you'd be absolutely fine. You wouldn't have to worry about constricting yourself on Thanksgiving or Christmas because it's one fucking day.
But think of what it would do to the local economy.
It would cripple it.
Your friends at the pizza store. There have definitely, over the course of my life, there have definitely been some independent pizza/fast food restaurants that I've kept in business.
Yeah. Also, just think of how much more miserable you would be if you didn't have these outlets of these like fancy little foods every once in a while. I was so happy when we lived at that shitty comedy house and there was that nacho place nearby. That was fucking kick-ass. Just getting like custom-made nachos for like $10.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I love that jerk chicken place that gave me explosive diarrhea 1/3 of the time. That place, I remember just on just a Sunday afternoon, I would just go to Pat's Caribbean food, and then next to it was a wine rack. I'd grab myself a bottle of red wine. Then that afternoon, I'm just shoveling jerk chicken and drinking a bottle of red wine in the basement by myself. And I was like, "This is the life."
That basement was made. That basement was made for alcoholism, and treating your body bad.
I think it was
That's
probably
where
made by
you did
alcoholism.
Yeah.
By alcoholism,
you had
for alcoholism.
You had the stove where you could go hold it and sober up so it would electrocute you a little bit. Put the pep back in your step.
I still remember going into that bathroom for the first time when I moved in and being like, why would they why would they have black tile in the bathroom? That's such a weird choice. And I was like, oh, that's all mold.
Yeah.
And then I spent the first day I was there just with a mask on and rubber gloves, just scrubbing mold out of the shower. There were like mold stalactites.
Yeah, it was really gross.
I'm glad. The soap dish. Absolutely
I'm glad you don't have that type of depression, or you at least have the coping skills enough to know that you can't be surrounded by that kind of stuff, or it makes your depression worse. You know what I mean? Like, since I've moved into Serena's place, I've been cleaning like a motherfucker because I got spoiled when I lived with Katie because Katie cleaned everything and kept everything so tidy.
Yeah,
and I realized, like, man, that really does make you feel better.
It really
to be
does.
surrounded by a clean space, you feel infinitely better than if it was dirty. So I've been like cleaning like crazy here,
but
because like her and her roommate didn't do it really before that much. So I'm just trying to like get it up to like a nice baseline, and then I'm like, all right, now we keep it here. We keep it this clean, kind of.
You know what the biggest growing pains are living with somebody is different standards of what clean means.
Yeah,
like Micah's standard for I thought I was pretty clean. I was disgusting before I lived with Robbie, and then he sort of got me clean. And then I got to a part of clean where I was like, I'm pretty clean. This is what cleanliness is. I am clean. And then Micah's is so much higher. And I was like, and so now it's just doing chores, like a weekly scrub down of the apartment. And I'm like, why? What is the point? Now it's just something we do. But when I first moved in, I was like, yeah, that sounds awesome. I can't wait to fucking...
You know what? My aunt and uncle and their 3 kids, they always did like a big weekly clean. Like every Sunday they would like, or a Saturday, I can't remember which one, they would like deep clean the house. And I always like admired that as a kid, and even though we did not do that even on a little bit. Because also, I'm a child. I'm not going to self-motivate the whole house into fucking cleaning a whole house.
Apparently Micah was, when she was a kid, she would be like, her room was always the cleanest room in the house.
Damn,
she was just a very tidy little child. Oh, mine was absolutely not. I'm gross.
Mine was like horrific. Mine was like so bad. Even like when I went back to my parents' place and they had rented a dumpster and I like threw out most of the crap in the house that was upstairs. I was like finding old shit. I was like, I cannot believe I lived like this.
Like what kind
like
of
I would
shit?
finish it. Like I had a love seat kind of like triangled into the wall. So there's like a triangle opening. I would finish a 2-liter of pop and I would just like floop, just chuck it over behind the couch. So when I'm like finally throw out that couch, there's just like hundreds of 2 liters.
Oh my God.
Like there's just like all this crap everywhere. I'm just like, this is no way to live. This is no way to live. So I'm like trying to. Now the place it's at a good place now where I feel much better.
That's good, man.
Looking
it
around.
looks clean from the corner that I can see.
Yeah, like this is the messiest thing, but it's like a bookshelf. It's literally designed to be messy.
Yeah,
it's like true. really in life. It's like, all right, well, put your clutter and crap on your bookshelf. You can have knickknacks and shit with them, and but keep everything else like
heavy.
Good.
Fuck, I'm gonna do some dishes after this. Now you got me feeling. Also, this is gonna be a big clean weekend because we're going to New York.
Nice, dude.
You want, we're having like a friend stay over and look after the cats and shit. So you want to put your best foot forward.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. You should never make someone stay in your place, like watch your pets when it's like gross.
Yeah.
That's never nice. It should always be like a good baseline. And then also, if you leave the place clean, the friend feels compelled to like leave it fairly close to that level. So they won't make too much of an impact. Whereas if your place looks like shit, they'll make themselves comfortable.
The one thing, and you got to be real careful, when we went to Italy and England, was that last year, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Was that when Justin was looking after Millhouse's butthole?
Yeah, when he had to cream my cat's ass.
Justin, aka the best friend who has ever lived, who creamed your cat's butthole.
He's a good guy. I don't know what to tell you.
He's a great guy.
He's the best guy. If he ever needs someone to cream his daughter's butthole, I'm here. I owe him one.
Horrific.
I forgot to empty out the coffee maker. And I just assumed he would make coffee while he was here. Turns out not a big coffee guy. The moldiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh.
Was the coffee maker when I got back.
That's gross.
Like, fuck. I have to spend all day cleaning it. But yeah. It's nice to be somewhat clean. Just as a person. It feels nice. You're like, I have a little bit of value.
Well, it's like when you feel bad on the inside and you look around and it's bad, you're like, fuck, no wonder I feel bad because I'm bad and everything's always bad. But if you look around and everything's nice, you're like, you know what? Maybe everything's not that bad. Look at how clean that is.
That's true. That's also why I think going to the gym works when you're depressed. You're like, I feel like shit. I look like shit. I live in shit. I am shit. I'm just going to sit here, a turd, on the couch in my little shit fortress.
Yeah.
And then, but if you're super sad in a clean apartment with, a better body than you had last month, it's like, you can only be so sad, I think. Like, hey, look who's capable of doing anything.
Like, the way I look at depression and all that is I just want to remove its arguments as much as possible, So if I stay, like, trying to be productive in some way or, working on myself to some regard, like, hey, I'm being productive. This takes away from the arguments of you suck.
Yeah, taking away the weapons you have against you. Very effective bully.
Yeah. A bully that has like a record of everything that's happened to you ever.
Remember that
good.
One time.
That's who I want not on my side.
Do you have anything funny you want to end on, or you want to just end on depression talk?
Depression? Not necessarily funny, but I reached a milestone in my daily writing, like those 3 pages I do on the computer. I hit over 420 pages today. Woo!
Blaze it, dude.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
That's all I wanted to talk about.
All right, hey, that's cool. Good for you.
I'm gonna get you on that 3-page train eventually. And anybody listening to this, 3 pages, free writing every morning, change your life. Not change your life a lot, but
I guess one thing we should touch on, like, I should say congratulations to Doug on Trump winning the election. I know that was really important to you. I know you don't have to hide it anymore, Doug. You can come into the light as a member of the moral majority. Doing great.
Oh man,
I was looking at the one thing I wanted to say. I was looking at like news reports because it's always fun to see the reaction when something happens like that. For all the lamestream media and all that. And I was every video I watched, every article I read, it all had the same message somewhere in it, which was what we need now most, the greatest weapon that we have is the truth. And the best way for you to get the truth is by subscribing to us and paying us $10 a month in order to fight Trump. I was like, you fucks.
Yeah. Cash in. Cash in, you fucking losers.
Cash in. If you can find any way to cash in, go for it. Bitcoin went way up. Should have gotten Bitcoin. Yeah. As I say
why do you
every
think
month.
That is? Do you think like everyone's losing confidence in the American dollar? Is that why?
I think it's because the Bitcoin lunatics are like, Elon loves crypto, and Elon is now in the White House. He's gonna make Bitcoin the American dollar or some shit. Like it's just all that conspiracy stuff.
Or imagine if, like, you know how they removed the gold standard for money? What if he implemented a Bitcoin standard for the dollar?
Some shit like that. I was thinking a lot the other day about how I always say I wish I could go back in time and tell my younger self to buy Bitcoin. I don't think there's any way I could convince myself to do that. Like, even if I came down and I look the same, I came down, I'm obviously me. I know I'm me. And I'm like, listen, you need to go on the internet and buy fake money from pedophiles. It's so important. Go buy
Is this a hologram from Nigeria? I don't believe this.
Yeah. Go buy some fake money from pedophiles and keep it under your bed. It's so important.
Yeah.
Right,
I know I do.
Nothing else.
I do often think about, I remember there was a time when I had money saved up for university and I pulled it out and I had the money to like go buy stuff, and I saw like what Bitcoin was worth, and I was like, man, I wonder what my life would be like if I just like got that instead, like put the money into that and then just like sat on it. And I probably would have been like a multi-millionaire or something crazy because it was like 2010, but oh well.
How did you even know?
Just go to school
Bitcoin
like a fucking moron. I used to go on 4chan a lot. They talked about it.
Sick.
That's the only way I knew
right.
about it. Yeah.
Where
are they now?
Little fat
they're
dog
here
on 4chan eating his block of cheese.
Yeah.
I also don't think there's any way I would have figured out how to get Bitcoin. I don't know how to get a Bitcoin now. I have no idea how to buy Bitcoin.
I watched a video on some guy who had like a Bitcoin mining rig. It was like 30 phones like mining for Bitcoin. He was like talking about how much he made, or like some other coin, but he made like such a minuscule amount. And it was like such an operation to keep it going. I think he did okay because like the conversion rate of when he first set it up, it's now paid for the rig, but it's like 30 phones you're constantly looking after and hoping that they don't overheat, and a couple of them fucking exploded and shit. And
yeah,
like,
and
too much.
That's great that it paid for itself. Well, what the fuck are you going to do with 30 phones?
Yeah. I just don't see a future where I'm ever like fake rich. Like maybe if I daydream enough and I could sell scripts or, you know, make it as a stand-up, I could be, you know, real rich off that. But I can never see myself being like rich off of some like, oh, this currency just invented. Get on the bottom floor of Flern. And then I invest in
Good.
Flurn, and I'm a billionaire.
That's good. You should not imagine that. If you can actually imagine that, it's a problem.
Well, it's like almost thinking you can make it in the lottery. It's like thinking you're like gaming the system, but in the lottery somehow. And it's like, no, you're not. You're just giving money to these people.
Yeah. And also, every time someone makes $60,000 on Bitcoin, someone else loses $60,000 on Bitcoin. It's not like there's not outside funds coming in.
Yeah, someone's life is falling apart for someone else being, woohoo!
Yeah, exactly. And, also, I understand that Bitcoin keeps going up. I was talking with Micah's family about things like Pokemon cards and like Nintendo games being worth so much, and they were talking about all the things they've thrown out throughout their life that are worth so much money today. And I just came to the conclusion, we are right, okay? The people who are doing that are wrong. We are correct. We should have thrown out our Pokemon cards. The people who are like mortgaging their house to buy them, they're the ones who are wrong. I'm a firm believer.
Well, it's also just like, I don't know. Anytime I've ever seen, like, I love like video game collectors and all that stuff, but anytime I've ever seen like a Sega Genesis collection or like a NES collection like in box, I'm like, how? How the fuck do you keep these? How do people live like that? Like so careful. Like I can see like being clean, but like I'm still rough on the things I own. I can't, carefully put something on a shelf and it just sits there just so carefully. Oh, nothing ever touch it ever. Oh, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I rip the packaging of everything I buy. I rip it out of whatever it's in.
Yeah. All right. I'm done.
All right. That's the podcast, everybody. We love you. Goodbye.
Bye.